That was a kerfuffle, I tell you. I just tried to go live on YouTube, but I'm not sure what was going on there. And I do want to keep these channels separate, but I am going to use this as the platform today because I can't tell why my YouTube connection is not working. I couldn't go live there, and I tried, and it got mad at me. And I don't often win fights with technology. I'm not well equipped. It's just the way it is. So yeah, that's what's happening now. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll have that fixed and figured out for you guys. I was not anticipating that. But yeah, anyway, I still wanted to do my thing. Have I even introduced myself? Do we even know what we're talking about? Did I just start rambling? Because rambling's basically what I do here. Yeah, anyway, hi everyone. My name's Jared Bernard, and welcome to Robin's Hood. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about procrastination. And, yeah, today's an interesting one for me. It's got this multi-layered impact where so first you should know this video was supposed to be the second video I had come out. I had done some research on procrastinating, and it was impactful. It kind of hurt a little. Like my body, like I felt it physically in when it would tell me, hey, look, these are things you can do. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be. I liked procrastinating. It was giving me, well, liked is the strong word. I relied on it, and something I discovered is that procrastinating isn't actually just like I've always thought of procrastinating as like just a behavior pattern, a thing people do, but there's a clinical version of it, and I think I might be it. Though, you know, that's also like YouTube, or was it Oh, are you? Oh, well, I don't know if I want to help you with the circle, but you never know. You might find something in this that helps you with it. I'm recently kind of exploring it now. My thing with procrastinating, I've discovered is I wanted to rehash this topic because of my last video. My last video, I started discussing my anxieties a bit, and I started talking about how schedules I've noticed that like the more I put things on schedule, the more anxiety I experience and the less I sleep, and then therefore I just ultimately am not able to accomplish my schedules, and it's almost this like certain predestined thing. And I have a system right now that I use for my schedule, but it's much smaller, it's compact, it's a very visible, it's a, like post-it notes that I move around, and it's a very malleable system, whereas when things get locked in, I don't know, it's like it's totally reactionary. I'm learning to understand why it's happening and how to get ahead of it, right? That's kind of like the overarching goal around your anxieties, or at least my anxieties. But anyway, so one of the things I realized as I was researching on procrastinating is that there's a deep connection between procrastinating and anxiety. And I mean, I guess it's basically a no-brainer, but we perpetuate a cycle. And when we start to procrastinate, and whatever behavior you have that is a procrastinating behavior, it's interesting because like you'll start to get up to do the thing you're going to do, right? You'll start to, you remember all of a sudden, I've got to accomplish X or Y. I need to go get this paper done for school. I need to start working out. I got to start dieting, whatever it is. You know what you need to do. And then you'll get up to do it. And then as you get up to do it, your mind will just sort of like interject. It's like your subconscious. I like to, part of me sort of started visualizing it as Gollum, like, my precious, like I'm keeping you from the things you want. But like at the same time, it's all the things you want. I don't know, that was an off-tangent analogy, but what is it? Sorry, I'm easily distracted, which also allows for procrastinating and anxiety to be like, whoa, hey buddy. What are we gonna do to you today? I absolutely experience both and find them to be connected. Yeah, exactly, right? They perpetuate each other. And then when I started seeing what the most common solutions were, now, like, also, so you know, like I just said, I'd done some research, and as I memorized a little bit of a script and ways of presenting this to you, I had nicknames for things. It was entirely clever and cute. But as I started doing the video, I started just like I started experiencing a subconscious shift, a part of myself that couldn't ignore the information I was seeing, and just the reality of like, one, that I didn't experience much anxiety in my early life. Like anxiety's not been a big thing. It's like my like somewhere around 33, 32, I started all of a sudden. I remember calling a friend and being like, I was having a hard time breathing. There was around a big breakup, and I was just like, and it wasn't actually the breakup itself. It was some things that happened after. But I wasn't fully in control of my physical factions, and like that was just something I hadn't experienced before. Like I wasn't right away aware of what to do, even though I had coached people with anxiety, had talked with people with anxiety, and I knew the skill sets. I just hadn't taught my body to be present to them. And I remember calling a friend, and I was talking to her, and I started telling her about what was going on, and she was like, "Oh, hon, this is an anxiety attack." And she's like, "Just sit down. You're okay. It's okay." And I was like, "You've told me about these. Oh my God, what is you live like this? This is insane." I all of a sudden realized it, something that was a living experience for other people. That just I had a real privilege of not having to really be present to, and I can't. Well, actually, no. I think I can kind of explain why. At least some of is that the majority of my life I've always been meditating or exercising, just almost always, and turns out that those seem to be the two things that really help with procrastinating and anxiety. And when I analyze that, there's a lot of sense in that anxiety is commonly the result of unanswered questions, unexplored options, and procrastinating is unexplored action. So one is failure to be present to yourself, and the other one is failure to be present to what your body needs to do, what you need to do to be able to really sustain yourself. And so if you take your time to meditate, this is my new thing I'm going to start doing. Not new. I mean, I used to do it all the time, but now like I'm facing this whole other new stage of my life where I got tired and lazy and tired, and there was some laziness involved and a lot of tired, and I just stopped moving. I stopped being. I remember I think the biggest one is I got hit with being strong. I don't know. This may seem just like complaining to someone, but I don't know how else to put it. But I had taken on a lot of roles in my life where strength was important, and instead of creating space for myself to be weak, I continually piled on to that requirement, and I even kind of like defined myself through it, so it became a bit of an identity. And that identity eventually got too hard. I got injured over and over again, pursuing those strengths. And what's interesting is now that I examine it, there's probably even some ego involved in there. There's no doubt. It's well, yeah. See that anyway. Right when I say that, that's the way I said I mean there. I'm about to justify my own ego. Anyway, let's let that one go for a second. What was it? To sum it up there, how do I bring it back to my anxiety related being, or was I talking about my anxiety relating to my strength? This is where the danger of rambling goes on, and I should have more notes. I keep some notes to like help me stay on task and stay on point, but like, what is it? There are large gaps because I think pretty abstractly. My mind's just like. Anyway, I should get back on task. All right, so we're talking about procrastinating, exercise, meditation. Oh, right, I was talking about new and old and yada yada. But anyway, let's just bring it right back to the point. And the bare bottom point is that meditating allows you to bring attention to yourself, your physical body, and your, I guess I would call it spiritual body. If it's not spiritual to you, it's your mental body. It allows you to spend time within your mind and within your body to listen for what might be missing. And as I've said before, feeling, thought, and or our feelings, our knowledge, and our beliefs, they're all very heavily, if not entirely, experiential. So if we're not present to what experiences we need in our lives, we're not going to be able to bring them to us. And I think there's, like, I'm not really all about the law of attraction and stuff, but I think there's just a bare bones idea, a basic idea of you need to be aware of what serves you. And if you can't be, if you're not, you're going to be constantly reacting to the world around you. And it's almost there's almost a level of, how do I would put it, sort of being a victim to circumstance, as opposed to acknowledging that circumstances are beyond our control, but our responses are not entirely beyond our control. And what is it? There are times when we definitely can lose sight of that, and like procrastination is a huge one. I've been impacted with it radically in my life. I think I've already covered some of that. But yeah, I think the thing I'm going to be getting back into is it's going to be about meditating and exercising at least once a day, a little bit every day. I'm going to be looking into yoga. I think yoga is going to be my plan. I'm going to start doing some research on probably YouTubers that do yoga, because I want to support the platform and support other YouTubers, because I'm doing the YouTuber thing. I'm kind of still broke right now. This whole process is developing for me to make money and for me to give away money, and I can't really afford to be doing yoga classes and stuff like that. So there's that. So I think there's the both parts have a good value, and yeah, I need to take responsibility for what I can do, and that is something I can do. I think I need to look into yin yoga. I don't know if people want to talk more about what yogas are good for you for when, but I'm looking more into like the flexibility. I've spent a lot of time developing my strength and like looking into strength stuff, and so for now it's going to be like really spending time looking into my body, developing my flexibility, and finding strength through flexibility. So like teaching my body to let go of what it's been holding on to. And I'm notoriously tense. Like I'm just like, there was a period in my life where I spent 6 months like I couldn't move, but it was strictly just tension. My neck, like I can't do this. Yeah, it was intense. The more I even explored that time in my life, it was totally mental. Like I think it was even the same breakup that I had some of the panic stuff around, and it was I knew the breakup was coming. I could feel it, and instead of acknowledging it, I wanted it to work so badly because there was so much good about it, but. I've gathered like this was a time when I wasn't meditating, actually, where the breakup would have happened so much faster, actually, because we just realized that we weren't supposed to be together. There was a lot of great there, but it wasn't what it was supposed to be. Anyway, this video's gotten into something it wasn't supposed to be. But I think that's going to be something all my videos do. If you got to see my last video, you'll get to see me go through a bunch of rambling about some ideas about different videos I've done already and touching up on some ideas so that we can kind of polish things off. I think Sundays are going to do a lot of that. And then all of a sudden I start talking about my anxiety unexpectedly. And it was because I got a good comment from a buddy who knows me quite well. And he was able to like reflect with me, just like, it was like 2 or 3 comments, and it pulled something out of me that made me, it helped me to see something that I is a part of who I am, but haven't been true to. You know, or actually that's not even a fair statement, because I've been true to who I am in a sense, but it's I've been in a really different place than where I would consider a healthy version of myself to be, and so. I've definitely isolated myself a lot more over the last couple of years than I ever have, and I'm already a pretty isolated person. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. That's my 2 bits on procrastinating, and probably a whole bunch more. This is the way this is gonna go. It's gonna be a random blurb on a topic, and then we'll bleed into something else. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? You guys got any questions, any thoughts, any feelings? You got any of your own experiences of procrastinating? Don't feel the need that you have to disclose them here. But yeah, I'm going to be posting this video on YouTube. Also, so you guys know, anybody who's interested in gaming, in about another, I'm going to guess, it's looking like probably close to 7 o'clock. I'm going to have to do a few things to get this up, so it might be 7, maybe a little after. I'll be streaming part 2 of my Deus Ex Revolution gaming review. I had to repost the last one because I posted the wrong video, and it got blocked for issues because it is, and yeah, it was just not a good thing. I'm learning. It's growing process, a growing process, a learning process. Anyway, yeah. Oh yeah, so I'm doing that review of Deus Ex Revolution, and then I'll just be jumping onto streaming, probably going into Overwatch, maybe something else. I don't know. We may play a little longer Deus Ex because I think actually Overwatch might, or no, is it tomorrow's? Today's the last day of competitive play. But yeah, and nonetheless, I'll probably still play Overwatch. It's just a game that's been going well for me, and I've been constantly climbing out of gold. I might actually even do some stream stuff because I got to look at what the heck is going on with YouTube. But yeah, like I said, somewhere around 7, Deus Ex game review number 2. If you guys are interested in that. Otherwise, hopefully you take a look at my website if you haven't already. And I hope this was informative and or entertaining or all of the above. I think and or all of the above works for both. Whoa, that was a hard sentence. Anyway. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for checking out the stream. And I will talk to you guys probably shortly, actually. Yeah, very, very shortly. Bye.